What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about what our chances of a Batman Arkham Origins 2 are. Now, let me make this clear. Let me make this clear why I'm making it and a couple other things before I jump in. Number one, I'm doing this because obviously tomorrow is the 7-year anniversary of Arkham Origins releasing. I felt like this would be a really fun thing. In fact, I may even switch up the videos and have this be on that day. So if it is today, happy 7-year anniversary to Arkham Origins. If not, happy anniversary tomorrow to Arkham Origins. Number two, I am aware Slick Muff did a video similar. I did not watch it. I've only seen the title, so there's nothing else there. Nobody try and make up some sort of weird conspiracy theory because there's nothing there, okay? This is my own thing. I didn't watch his video, and so, okay, let's just make that very clear up front, right? Plus, I also just do want to talk about, what are the odds? Would we ever see something like this? It's also something we've kind of talked about when we talk about what the future of these DC games are. Would, Rocksteady ever? Would Warner Bros. Montreal? We know they have a second game in the works. Now, I will say, that is something that Slick Muff and I did talk about, actually, in a video of his, and that's kind of where I want to pick this up. So, I guess if we want to say, what are the odds? What are the odds we get in Arkham Origins 2? Well, let me say the odds I would say are 0. Honestly, I wouldn't even say 0.1%. I mean, you can always hope. You can always hope. So if that's what people want, I'm never going to tell you, don't believe or don't hope for something, right? It's completely up to you to do that, and I have no problems with that, right? Here's the situation, though, okay? They, for what we know, I think really want to get away from Batman. Now, does that contradict with what I've said previously about Batman not being dead in Gotham Knights and Batman probably being a playable character at the end, or Batman being in a Gotham Knights 2? Yeah, I mean, that does contradict. I feel like the path that Warner Bros. Montreal has taken, okay, is that, they made Arkham Origins, they made a couple canceled projects, right? But seemingly, they really did want to get away from Batman. There was the rumors that they were doing that Suicide Squad, the co-op game around the time that the first movie came out, and then they canceled it. There were rumors that they did a Wonder Woman game, and it didn't make it very far. There were rumors that, obviously, then the Damian Wayne game, right? So for what we know, they've done, let's just say, and then maybe there were more, but there were 3, to our knowledge, canceled projects, okay? Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, Damian Wayne. None of them are in the Arkham world, and, Damian Wayne is the closest for sure, okay? And I guess, the rumor was, right, it would be set after Arkham Knight, so maybe it would be an Arkham game. That was the closest they got. But as I've said before, and I've actually said this for, at this point, a year and a half, here's what I think was going on in their minds. And this may not even been, I don't know who made this decision, but I feel like there were probably people in there that thought this. They made Arkham Origins. It, at the time, was not received all that well, sold not as well as the others, okay? They probably wanted to get as far away from Batman as they could. They probably also didn't want to live in the shadows, not to quote Bane, of the Arkham franchise that Rocksteady had and was still doing at the time, okay? They probably said, if they had a choice, if they had free speech, and Warner Bros. Wasn't, dictating what to do, above them, they probably said, okay, obviously we'll make DC, that's what we do, but we don't want to do an Arkham game. We want to try and make our own stamp in the gaming industry. And I think that's fair, by the way. I think that's actually a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? And that's what I think they set out to do. Doing a Suicide Squad game, doing a Wonder Woman game, does that sound like Batman to you? No. In fact, it's very, very different. Now, ironically, they did a Suicide Squad game, canceled, then Rocksteady, they did their own version of it, and obviously theirs stuck for whatever reason. So maybe Warner Bros. Montreal just couldn't figure out how they wanted to do it. But it was very clear that they wanted to get away from Arkham. Okay, they wanted to get away from it. Now, Gotham Knights is the closest, I guess, you could get, besides the Damian Wayne game, to Arkham. And we know, again, this is a brand new universe. They can play around with all this different stuff, whether or not, by the way, Batman is in the game, okay? Now, they have a second game in development, a game that will also probably be a cooperative game. It'll have multiplayer. In fact, I think we know from job listings, it'll have multiplayer elements to it, okay? So it could still be a standalone game, although doubtful. And that's kind of also another thing you could kind of build onto, could it be an Arkham Origins 2? Well, firstly, let's say this. Rocksteady would never do it, okay? They're staying in the Arkham world, which I think is fine, kind of weird, not necessarily preferred, but it's fine. They're doing, obviously, Suicide Squad. Their next thing, do they do a Justice League next? What, it doesn't, that's so far away, it doesn't really matter. The thing, I guess, to note is that I don't think they would ever do another actual Arkham game, a Batman Arkham game. In fact, they said they were done with the Batman Arkham games, and technically they are correct because Suicide Squad is not titled Batman Arkham Suicide Squad, right? So they're fine. Warner Bros. Montreal, they've never said that. That's one thing to keep in mind. But they're going down a different path. And as I think I said in the Slick Mob video, and as I've said to you guys hundreds of times, they need to do a world-building thing here. They need their second game. I do not think their second game is Gotham Knights 2, but their second game needs to be a game built in the world of Gotham Knights. If it's a Justice League game, if it's a standalone game, if it's a Teen Titans game, I mean, it could be literally whatever, but it needs to be in the world of Gotham Knights. You don't want Rocksteady over there still messing around in the Arkham world, while Warner Bros. Montreal has created a brand new world with Gotham Knights, while also then making another new world or universe with whatever they make. Doesn't make sense. Kind of gets confusing, and it's just not something you really want, I would say, for your network, I would probably call it, right? I think they've already kind of messed up because, remember, early rumors were Warner Bros. Montreal's game would kick off a brand new universe, and the rumor was Rocksteady's game was supposed to be part of it. Now, maybe part of that rumor was wrong, where it's like, okay, well, they kicked off their own universe, and all of their games will be in that universe. Now, right there alone, if that is true, that puts a, that closes the coffin, I would say, on a Batman Arkham Origins 2. And I know, saying a Batman or Arkham Origins 2 is a weird thing anyway. It's not really the game. Well, here's this. It's the game that could, out of all of these games, get a sequel. Besides, I guess, Arkham Knight, right? Because Arkham Knight could have got the sequel. In fact, it could have been the Damian Wayne game, okay? Arkham Origins is the only other game where you could make an Origins 2 still set after Origins, but you could still easily fit it in before Asylum. That would work. That would make sense. So, I mean, from like a logistics standpoint, from like a logic standpoint, it does make sense. Like, that is something that can actually happen. But I just feel like the ship has sailed. The game is kind of looked at, I feel like, as like the odd child out. I think it's always looked like that. While it's gotten, I think, a whole lot more popular now, and I think people respect it now, and maybe some people even think it's better than some of the Rocksteady ones, I think still generally it is looked at as this like odd man out, and it's just a situation where they've moved on, they're doing Gotham Knights, and then the second game from them is, in my opinion, and probably my opinion should be, and I also think will be, in the Gotham Knights world. Now again, it wouldn't be Gotham Knights 2 because there's never been a situation where you've split a team up into two teams and you've done that. I guess technically with like Spider-Man you could say something like that, where like Miles and then 2. But yeah, generally, that's like the team that made 1 is making 2 right now, so that's a little bit different, I would say, overall. That's what I think is going on. I don't think we'll ever get an Arkham Origins, which does, I mean, it sucks in a way, right? Because Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, I guess, well, if you did Arkham Origins 2, you're starting to get into that realm where do you keep like Troy Baker and Roger Craig Smith, or do you swap it to what you had in Arkham Asylum? Now, could they appear in like the Suicide Squad game, depending on when that's set, or if there's alternate dimensions or whatever? Yeah, that's definitely possible. So we'll have to see how everything plays out. But yeah, I mean, happy anniversary, Arkham Origins. With that being said, you are on your own. You are your own property. You are very special in your own way. Okay, I think that's something that parents should, if parents tell their kids that, I'm telling Arkham Origins that you're special in your own way, and you did some great things. You also did some not great things, but I don't think we'll ever see a sibling to you. I don't think we'll ever have another kid quite like you. So let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think? Do you think an Arkham Origins 2 is possible? What do you think the next game from Warner Bros. Montreal is? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And again, happy anniversary, Arkham Origins. Hopefully you guys had fun with this kind of different video. More Gotham Knights videos coming every couple days, right? And we'll just keep on going from there, okay? Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you all in the next video.